Hi everybody, welcome to another video of how much more money can we throw into the wishing well before we decide to give up. Today we are working on installing a new fan because the old fan was not moving enough air. Certainly not the 3,000 cubic feet per minute that it said it was going to. So instead of waiting for a miracle to happen with this nasty $50 eBay fan, we're instead gonna try out this beast of a $200 spal, however you say it, fan. Here is the part number and information on the box for those of you who may decide to use this exact same one. And here is the information for the hardware kit you are going to have to buy separately from the fan. It also does not come with the little zip tie things to stick it to the radiator. So I picked up a pack of those for like $7 at my local AutoZone. You'll also notice that this one is much thicker than the other. Here is the wiring diagram that comes with the hardware kit that I had to buy to go with this fan. Now, much like the way I typically do things, I've already done most of the hard part, so I'm just going to show you how it all ended up being set up in this particular application. It all starts with this relay. It's got 5 pins on it and won't focus for some reason. There it is. The kit comes with this plug right here. It's got a little hole to mount it, so I just used a hole that was already there and mounted that there. It's got wires coming out of it that are all color-coded per our instructions right there. And it also comes with this circuit breaker and or fuse, or whatever you want to call it. Speaking of this fuse, I'm not sure if they did the instructions the way they did on purpose or not, or if it even matters, but the first thing you're gonna do is take this red 10 gauge wire that's coming out of the box, and you're gonna put it to the silver side of the fuse. Then on the copper side of the fuse, you're gonna run that wherever your constant power goes, which for me is that one right there. I can touch it because I, like a smart person, have taken my battery out of the car. Or maybe I'm wrong and it wouldn't have mattered if I took the battery out of the car, but it's too late, I did it, so I'm gonna keep going. The second thing you're gonna do is take the yellow wire coming out of the bottom, and if you did what I did and put all your stuff right there, you're gonna run it around the same way, but the yellow one is gonna go to your key power, which for me is that one. Also, yes, I am aware that it looks like this tape might have started to burn at some point, and the jury is out at this point as to whether it might have gotten a little singed from when this valve cover had fire on it, or if this, with the constant power, might just be slowly burning it at some points in time. It doesn't really have the flexibility to get up there by itself, so I don't think that's it. I think it's probably an issue that is resolved, but I will keep an eye on it just in case. So anyway, next you're gonna take your gray wire and you're gonna run it to your temperature sensor that also came with the kit and is so much better than the crappy cheap eBay one you bought, and once again proves that you should probably just spend the extra money and buy good stuff, because if you don't, it will snap off in your fingers one day for no apparent reason at all. Next is the easy part. You're gonna take the purple wire coming out of the bottom of the relay box, and you're gonna make yourself a handy dandy positive fan wire, which won't focus because there it is. That's why. You'll notice that it says the purple wire goes to the blue wire, but in the case of the real world fan, the plug actually has a red wire and not a blue wire. This is where the eBay fan actually flexes on the cheap, more expensive fan because it does have a blue wire, therefore solidifying its place in the color correct fan category. But in every other way, it absolutely sucks. Do not buy cheap eBay fans. So anyway, once you've made your handy dandy purple to blue to actually red wire, you're gonna take what was left of that purple wire because you're lazy and cheap, and you're gonna make yourself a handy dandy ground wire that is also purple and also won't focus, but there it is. I will tidy this up a little bit more in the future, but as far as everything goes, it should be wired up. Now it's just time to get the fan on the radiator, which should be the simple part, but I have a feeling is going to be needlessly complicated because it always is whenever I touch this stupid car. Speaking of which, if you're like me and often forget dumb things that end up being a problem later, and then you hate yourself for not just taking the easy way out, put your relay in now, because if you don't, later on when you test it, it won't work, and you'll be like, what did I do? I followed the diagram perfectly, and the fan is on. I mean, it's not right now, but yeah, just put the relay on. Just put it on now, so that you don't get mad at yourself later. Here is the AutoZone part number for the little fan clippy zip tie things that are gonna hold the fan on. If you look up electric radiator fan mounts on AutoZone's website and it brings you to this, it might list their category as power steering pump mounts. I don't know why, but that's what it says. Given that I am alone tonight, I am going to go about this in a way that is hopefully smart and not creating more problems for myself later on. So I have put the foam pieces on the long parts of the zip tie. I'm going to put these through the radiator now, or I should say through the fan, and then lower it in, hopefully slide it on in through the radiator, and then put the clips on the back and finish pulling them tight all the way through. So here's hoping that that goes super smooth. All right, so the battery is back on. Everything seems to be pretty okay. I need to do something to keep these from just kind of hanging out on the valve cover. I still have my little, it's over there somewhere, my little coat hanger thing that I made to hold these up, and they were still working before, so I think I'll go back to using those momentarily. But for those of you who have stuck around this far in the video and put up with my aggravatedness. Oh, I should probably do something with that too before I start running it too much. Anyway, for those of you who have stuck around to the end of the video, or towards the end of the video anyway, you'll notice that I have wheels off the car. And I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I hated the wheels on this car. They were only 15s. They sat way far under the fenders, and they just looked like crap. They were chrome where all the chrome was peeling, and someone had tried to do like a inside the rim kind of blue, basically this color blue, whatever. They decided to rattle can the whole car, which is also annoying. And my mirror is still broken. But carbureted cars will kind of kill you if you just kind of hang out while they run and see if they're gonna overheat, especially in an enclosed garage. And our little exhaust pipe thing right there just vibrates right off the back of this one. So I need to be able to back this thing out of the garage before I start it and test the fan. And so I present to you all new wheels and tires. They're multi-lug, they're super cheap, the tires are cheap, but I got them for about half off their already super cheap price on Facebook Marketplace. And yeah, we're gonna use these from now on. For those of you who know your stuff about wheels, the offset is about 8 millimeters more positive than the ones that were on it before, so they actually currently sit farther underneath, but just enough that a 1-inch spacer will both cover the lugs so that I can use a spacer and put these right out to about flush with the fenders. So I have 1-inch spacers on the way, and hopefully the next time you guys see this car, they will be mounted more correctly. But since I'm not gonna be driving it, only running it, and I need to back it out of the garage, we're gonna go ahead and put those on now, / figure out my little wire things over there, and we'll see if this fan works. And boom, the wheels are on the car. All of my wires are tucked out of the way, and I think we are just about ready to get this thing down off the lift, back its butt right out the door, start it, and see if it starts overheating again. So let's do it. Sitting in here watching the temperature start to climb, maybe you guys can tell me why when I step on my brake lights, my tash lights come on. If anyone knows anything special about this wiring harness, let me know. It's also not just the dash lights. You can't really see it from there, but the like the orange signal indicator lights also come on when I step on the brakes. It's dropping. Oh, yes. And it's idling pretty high right now too. I bet it's actually gonna make the fan turn off. Oh, that's so awesome.